Hello everyone, and welcome back to the neighborhood. I really appreciate you joining me today to take a look at a very special item that was sent to the channel for review and evaluation. The Konus Audio Digitale 2000, which was provided to the channel by Gestalt Audio Design. It turns out that this will be featured at SoCal CanJam in 2023. But will it become a household name? More on that at the end of the video. Let's get into it. So the Digitale 2000 has a pretty simple design. It's essentially a small metal box with a small red power indicator on the top, 3 small feet on the bottom, a selector switch on the front, 2 possible inputs on the back, and 1 set of single-ended RCA outputs on the back as well. It uses the same metal chassis that all Konus products seem to use and measures 7.5 inches by 7.5 inches by 3 inches tall. By the way, I was also sent the Konus integrated speaker amplifier and phono as well, which I'm also in the process of testing and will review in the future. But we'll focus on the Digitale 2000 for now. Anyhow, this DAC only accepts USB and coaxial SPDIF, so it's not going to work for those that want a bit more flexibility. It also only outputs 16-bit PCM. I was told that it would only do Redbook or 16-bit 44.1, but Room was able to convert to 352.8 kHz on some tracks, at least over USB, so it seems that it's capable of higher sample rates just within the 16-bit spectrum. So this is a simple DAC for people that don't mind this type of approach. It also was a design choice by the manufacturer to optimize for the best sound for one particular codec. I'm a bit internally conflicted by this really, as I tend to prefer to be able to have all codec options rather than being limited to only a few, or in this particular instance, 1 bit rate. But in the case of the Konus Audio Digitale, I find myself willing to give it a pass on this, as it is impeccably implemented and sounds insane. Seriously, this may be my new favorite DAC. In terms of its sound, it's got musicality and flow for days. Listening to it, my brain just turns off and accepts whatever it feeds me, and I want more, and more. It's detailed and delicate where it counts, but appropriately dynamic when called upon to do so. It's not a DAC that wows everyone with an over-accentuated artificial precision, but instead it has an accurate amount of detail. If anything, it sacrifices a small amount of ultimate resolution for realism. Instruments feel like they're in the room with you, as if you could close your eyes and see a live performance straight in front of you. If it's not the most natural sounding DAC that I've ever heard, it's definitely one of them. Moreover, I found the Digitale 2000 to be agreeable with practically every device that I paired with it, and it excelled with virtually every genre of music. The stage has a really good depth and dimension to it, and the overall presentation is rather holographic. Like other Konus products, it's a solid-state device, but almost sounds like a sophisticated high-end tube product. From this standpoint, one might consider that acquiring a Konus product is like obtaining an analog tube sound without any of the fuss. Like I've already mentioned briefly, in addition to the Digitale 2000, I also have the Vinale 1000 MC Mark III phono stage and Integrale 2000 integrated amp in for review as well. And I won't spoil those reviews other than to say that Konus Audio has a rather detailed but analog feel to its house sound, and each device punches well above its weight, size, and price. Its MSRP in the US is about $4,300, and even though that's a high price tag, it's still a relative value in terms of its sound and performance. There's also a Digitale 1000 though, that's $1,000 cheaper that I hope to review and compare one day as well. But the 2000 is Konus Audio's flagship level DAC, and you can tell from the way it sounds. But nothing is perfect, so I do have a few critiques. One is that on some tracks, the treble can come across a bit soft, but then I play a different track, and I think, I wouldn't want any more top end to this. So this is somewhat of a non-criticism as well, as I wouldn't want a high-end DAC to go overboard in harshness or sibilance either. My Gold Note DS10 Plus, with its external PSU-10 power supply, does best it from the standpoint of ultimate resolve and has a bit more of a leading edge to it compared to the Konus, but the Konus is more than resolving enough for its price, and has enough resolution to still wow its listener while still accomplishing its other tasks. With that said, the Konus' resolution probably bests the gold notes without its separate power supply, which also tacks a hefty price onto the cost of the DS10, bringing it close to the cost of the Konus. A final minor criticism is that it has two sounds, a sound from its USB circuit and a sound from its coaxial input, which does sound slightly different. That's because there are basically two DACs housed in one digitale, consisting of two physically and electrically separate pathways, intentionally constructed in this manner to optimize for the sound of each input. Overall, the spit of coaxial input is a touch leaner, airier, less direct, sweeter, and more mellow compared to the USB input. While this does provide some sonic flexibility, in the event you're only using one input in a given system, the other DAC is basically going unused. This seems like a bit of a waste to me, and I'd rather buy a digitale with only the USB input if I could to save me some money. Perhaps this could be an option for Konus to consider for the consumer's wallet in the future. Although, with that said, including the coaxial input does kind of future-proof this purchase in the event the USB ever becomes obsolete for some reason. So there's that. In the end, the Konus Audio Digitale 2000 is a fabulous DAC. It's simple in its design, but sophisticated and nuanced in its sound. Given that it's basically two DACs in one, you can tell that the sound designer really cares about signal purity and the integrity of its circuits. While I struggle to accept that it operates at only 1 bit rate, I also understand that it performs one task and does it exceptionally well. I really like that this DAC's designer has chosen to intentionally limit the number of tasks that it is responsible for, and done so with one singular purpose, to produce the best sound possible. I'm seriously tempted to get a Konus and save a monthly charge by dropping Tidal HiFi Plus for Tidal HiFi, which only streams 1644.1. At a savings of only $9 a month though, it would take a while to justify the cost of the Konus. But it's also future-proof, so it seems to be a sensible decision, at least in my mind right now. Am I right? Should I join the Redbook only crowd? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And before I go, make sure that you smash that subscribe button and turn on notifications in order to get alerted when I upload future content. You can also follow the channel on X, Instagram, www.intuitreviews.com, or become a Patreon for only $1.50 a month. This will get you access to early content from the neighborhood, including early write-ups and previews of video content. And thanks again to Gestalt Audio Design for sending another banger into the channel for review. There will be links to Gestalt Audio Design, for the Konus Audio Digitale 2000, and to all neighborhood access locations provided in the description below. Also, if you're interested in checking out the Konus Digitale 2000 or its matching integrated amplifier, the Integrale 2000, which I'll also have an upcoming review out shortly of, it's my understanding that both of these units are being shipped from my front door to SoCal CanJam for the 2023 show. Apparently, a booth there will be using the Integrale not as a speaker amplifier, but as a headphone amplifier instead. At current, I don't have a wiring harness to try this for myself, so I'll be interested to hear the outcome there if I'm able to make it over to California myself. I hope I'll see you there. And with that, I'm out for now.